Coming up tonight on 18 Eyewitness News.
Coming up on 18 Eyewitness News tonight, 2 groups of Bismarck fire responders go to court tomorrow. Also, 4 people are facing charges of stealing from a food pantry. Plus, St. Francis County residents are reviewing a mailing from the assessor's office. All of these stories, and is there stormy weather ahead?
News, sports, weather. This is 18 Eyewitness News.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fred Dawkins. Tonight's top story, the Bismarck Fire Protection District Board is hoping to have a temporary restraining order overturned in court Friday afternoon. Now, the Bismarck Rural Fire Association Board requested the restraining order when the district announced its intention to begin providing emergency services. Without getting into the issues, Fire Protection District Board President Betty Jelnick says both groups want to offer the best services to the region.
I think both sides just mainly want what is best for the community. The district has the ability to grow tremendously if we do get the funding, and we are hoping that the funding does pass in April. So if we can get that funding passed, I think people will be really shocked at how much good the district can actually do for people.
At issues is who will provide emergency services for the 150 square mile fire district, which incorporates Bismarck, Iron Mountain Lake, and portions of Iron and Washington counties. Residents in the district will have their say on April 3rd when a levy of 32 cents per $100 of a property's assessed value to fund the fire district goes to a vote. Well, now Dustin is here with a look at our first forecast on Channel 18. Dustin, what's on tap?
And a look at our first forecast this evening. We're going to be a little mild, but we're also going to be cloudy, a lot different than we were last night. Mostly cloudy skies, 51 by 7 p.m., 9 p.m. 47, and the clouds continue through midnight with a temperature around 45 degrees, east-southeast wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow morning at the bus stop, we'll see a temperature around 42 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, so bundle your kids up as they head out to school. Rain is on the way for your Friday and into the weekend. Those details coming up later in weather. Fred, back to you.
4 people, including the former director of the Hands of Christ food pantry in Bismarck, are facing charges of stealing from the pantry. St. Francis County prosecuting attorney Jared Mahiran has filed felony stealing complaints against the pantry's former director, Michael Dane, and his wife, Catherine of Ironton, as well as Terry Purcell and Crystal Kelly, both of Mineral Point. Now, the group is accused of stealing from the not-for-profit food pantry from January to June of last year. If found guilty of the charges, the 4 defendants face up to 7 years in a state prison, up to a year in the county jail, and or a fine of up to $5,000. Mahiran has requested a bond of $10,000 on each defendant. According to the probable cause statement, Michael Dane would allow Purcell and Kelly to take stolen items and sell them at auctions in Mineral Point and Bunker, then split the profits from those auctions. 2 men are facing charges of making meth in a Park Hill storage unit. Jeffrey Green of Leadington and Homer Blankenship of Park Hills are accused of manufacturing a controlled substance and possession of a chemical with the intent to create a controlled substance. Now, according to the probable cause statement, a woman called police after noticing a suspicious male going through a storage unit on North St. Joe Drive in Park Hills. When investigating officers opened the unit's door, they found 2 men in the storage unit with one holding a knife. The officer called for backup. Both officers noticed a strong chemical smell, as well as chemicals commonly used in manufacturing methamphetamine. Officers also found a baggie with a substance that tested positive for meth on Blankenship. When we come back, the St. Francis County Assessor's Office wants to confirm your personal property. That story is coming up only on 18 Eyewitness News next. St. Francis County residents should be reviewing their personal property and business property forms. County Assessor Dan Ward says his office sends out the forms just after the first of the year.
When they receive those, they review the list to make sure the information, which is pre-printed on the list, is correct. And if it is not, then they make those corrections. If they've sold any vehicles or any personal property, then they would delete those items and add any new items to the back of the form and either bring them by our office, drop them off, or they would mail them into it.
Now, Ward says his office uses the information to update their records. That way, when the tax bills are sent out at the end of the year, people aren't paying taxes on property that they no longer own. Ward says it's very important that the information on the form is accurate.
Because when they go to the license office, Department of Revenue is starting to get more strict in the information that they have, so they're starting to discover things that maybe they weren't in the past. The year of a trailer or the year of a vehicle may be wrong, and before you can have that license, they'll want that corrected. So that's something that's pretty important. If we can get that corrected at the first of the year, when you first get those forms, then it'll be less work for the taxpayer when they decide to go in and license the vehicle.
Ward says if you didn't receive your form, call his office at 756-1878. The forms must be returned to the assessor's office by early March. 2 Farmington High School students will be making a splash for Special Olympics. Gage Polite and Tristan Yost will participate in the Polar Plunge Saturday afternoon at Lake Bowton in Cape Girardeau. Yost says he wanted to do the plunge for quite some time.
I've always wanted to do it, and it's for a really good cause. So I was like, why not? And raising money for the kids that need it.
Polite assists the Special Olympics by coaching adults who are preparing to compete. He says he learned about the Polar Plunge back in December.
It was about a month ago for Special Olympics bowling. I heard about it, and it always sounded really fun for me to do it, and I always wanted to.
So far, the boys have raised about $300 for their Special Olympics campaign. Now, the major sponsors so far are St. Francis County Prosecuting Attorney Jared Muhirin and USA Drug. If you'd like to sponsor their plunge, you can contact Denise Schwinwig at Farmington High School. And by the way, part of the Polar Plunge is to dress up as a character. Polly will jump in as Steve Urkel and Yost as Snow White. When we come back, the scientific proof behind mom's advice to sit up straight, how minding your posture can pay off, and a new device to help you do just that. Don Arnold has the details in today's Your Health segment. And Dustin Kopp, well, he's over in the Weather Center making some last-minute checks of our Storm Tracker 18 forecast, which is coming up next here on Channel 18.
And welcome back. As we head into Friday, things are going to be on the change. We're going to see some rain tomorrow, and then we're going to continue to see that rain through the weekend. However, some showers may mix in with some thunderstorms, but temperatures are going to still remain above normal. Currently here in southeast Missouri, we have temperatures in the 50s, 53 from St. Louis to Farmington, 52 in Fredericktown, 53 in Piedmont, Ironton right now at 55. 54 right now in Marble Hill. Factor in the wind, we do have a little bit of a wind chill. Not too much different. Close to our current temperatures, 52 right now in St. Louis, 55 in Ironton, down in Piedmont, 52 as well as in Poplar Bluff, and 50 right now in Cape Girardeau. Currently here at the station, we have a temperature of 53 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. It feels like 52 out there. Not much different because of that east wind at 5 miles per hour. 35 is our current dew point and 50% humidity. So tomorrow, here's what's going to happen. We're going to start seeing that rain build in through tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon, and it's going to last throughout the weekend. So things are going to look pretty wet for your weekend, maybe even mixed with a couple of thunderstorms tomorrow night into Saturday. So your forecast lows this evening, we'll see lows in the 40s, 41 in St. Louis, 42 in Ironton, 41 in Ellington, Van Buren, low around 40, 41 in Piedmont, 42 in Poplar Bluff, 40 for your overnight low in Marble Hill. Forecast tonight, low around 41 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, east-southeast wind 5 to 10. Tomorrow we'll see a high around 53 degrees, a lot cooler than it was today. We're going to see those showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder here and there. East-southeast wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. As we head into Saturday, those thunderstorms are going to develop. We're going to see a high of 57 degrees. Cooler on Sunday with some showers possible. 47, 49 on Monday with partly sunny skies. Mostly sunny on Tuesday with a high of 51, and then a little cooler on Wednesday and Thursday with a high of 48. And then Wednesday's going to look nice, sunshine, but mostly cloudy on Thursday. That is the check of your Storm Tracker weather forecast. I'm Chief Weathercaster Dustin Gopp. Fred, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Dustin. And now Don Arnold is here in the studios with tonight's Your Health. Don?
As children, we're often reminded to sit up straight, and new research is proving how important that can be. Good posture leads to stronger core muscles, which helps prevent everything from back injuries to knee injuries. And now a new device is being developed to do what your mom probably did for years, remind you of the value of good posture. Here's Clark Powell.
For all the time and effort we put into getting into shape, experts say many of us overlook the one thing Mom reminded us about often, the importance of good posture.
You need to start basically in the middle and work your way out, and if the middle's weak and if the middle's not doing its job, you're going to see problems down the chain into the limbs.
Chris McKenzie is a physical therapist at Ohio State University Medical Center. He says the middle part of our body, the core muscles near our stomach and lower back, contribute to billions of dollars in injuries a year, not only in the lower back, but in the knees and shoulders. So to help build that core strength, he and his colleagues developed this, a device that constantly monitors posture during activities and chimes in when we're out of line.
We really wanted to have a tool that we could take anywhere, that we could put on a person quickly and then be able to give them feedback about how they're moving their body.
People like Xander Uxley. He's a pitcher who suffered an elbow injury because of a lack of core strength. Even though he and his team trained constantly, they did it with poor posture.
We weren't doing it right, so obviously, I mean, you can say you can put all the ab workout in there, and I mean, if you're not doing it right, you're not doing yourself any good.
But it's not just athletes who need to mind their posture. In one study, experts recruited more than 400 firefighters, and by building their core strength, they cut injuries by 42% and reduced lost time on the job by more than 60%. And it doesn't stop there.
Core strength is really important for workers in a factory, for people sitting at a desk, for moms carrying their kids around, for everybody.
It's advice Mom gave us long ago, and this new device proves to this day. At Ohio State University Medical Center, this is Clark Powell reporting.
The device is in the process of receiving a patent and should be on the market in the near future. Experts originally tested the device on professional baseball pitchers and found the better the posture, the better they performed. They plan to use the device not only to fine-tune athletes, but to help injured patients during rehabilitation.
Coming up in today's Your Life segment, how good is your credit score? Money reporter Stacy Johnson will show you steps we can take to improve that. Just ahead on Money Talks News here on Channel 18.
And coming up in sports, I'll have a roundup of high school basketball action from last night. The CVC makes their pitch to make the Edward Jones Dome first tier, and Mizzou's recruiting stock is on the rise. These stories and more coming up on 18 Eyewitness News.
This is 18 Eyewitness News, Sports.
In boys high school basketball, a limited schedule last night as Farmington defeated Central 78-46. North County fell to Union 60-55, and Perryville, with a layup with 2 seconds to go, defeated Cape Central 52-51. The public agency that manages the Edward Jones Dome is proposing a $124 million overhaul of the 16-year-old facility, while St. Louis City and county officials stress that no new public money would go to the team without voter approval. The St. Louis Convention and Visitors Commission delivered the plan to the St. Louis Rams, detailing improvements officials argue would make the stadium one of the best in pro football. The proposal asks the Rams to pay for slightly more than half the cost. Among the proposed improvements is a 96-foot wide and 26-foot high scoreboard hung over midfield that should give fans clear views of replays, scores, and stats and not interfere with gameplay. and is one of only 6 schools in BCS automatic qualifier conferences to win 8 games or more the last 6 seasons, and with 96% of its seniors graduating since 2007, Mizzou already had what Coach Gary Pinkel called a pretty good brand name. But that brand name added some luster on Wednesday with a 19-man recruiting class highlighted by the signing of Dorial Green Beckham, the #1 prospect in the nation out of Springfield. Pinkel expects the Tigers' move to the SEC to enhance the recruiting, especially as Mizzou turns more of its resources in that direction, with new safeties coach Alex Grinch recruiting Georgia, running backs coach Brian Jones in Florida, and co-offensive line coach Josh Henson in Southern Georgia and the Florida Panhandle. And that's a look at sports. We'll be back with tonight's Your Life segment right after this on 18 Eyewitness News.
I'm Stacey Johnson. Everything needs a little cleaning now and then, and that includes your credit. But should you do it yourself or pay someone else? Let's find out. Cleaning up your credit history. It's just ahead on Money Talks News.
There are businesses out there that promise to improve your credit score for a price, but are they doing anything for you that you can't do yourself? Money hacker Stacey Johnson shows you the specific steps to improve your credit history without anyone's help.
You can hire people to clean up your house or a mechanic to fix your car. Professionals can be helpful, but they don't come cheap. Same goes with cleaning up your credit. You can pay a company to clean up your credit history, but you better expect to pay a bundle.
Our average client winds up spending between $500 to $800 to do a basic credit repair.
But even if you don't know your Windex from your foaming germicidal cleaner, you can still learn to clean your credit history. Step 1, get a copy of your credit report.
You do this by visiting annualcreditreport.com. Each of the 3 big credit reporting agencies are required by law to give you a copy of your report every 12 months at no cost. So you could get all 3 of them at once if you wanted to, or one from each company every few months, whatever you want. But when you get yours, take a look. If you see something that's inaccurate, from your name to any of your credit accounts, dispute that online or with a letter.
Now you want to look for marks that might be old. See, these old bad marks have to come off your credit history after 7 years, except bankruptcies. They last for 10.
Finally, you can also add a 100-word explanation for each bad mark on your credit history. It doesn't help a lot, but it's better than nothing.
Bottom line, if you want to clean up your credit, it's no big deal. You get a copy of your credit history, you remove the bad marks you can. For the ones you can't, they're going to fade away over time. Want more information on how to clean up your credit history? It's waiting right here at moneytalksnews.com. I'm Stacey Johnson.
And as Stacey said, he's got more information and links at his website. To get there, just go to moneytalksnews.com. Dustin, I'm going to tell you something. I am getting spoiled to this weather. I'm telling you what, people are calling in just excited. People are wanting to get out and start making their gardens and, plant flowers and stuff. But I think it's a little premature to do that just yet.
Yeah, I would wait until after February, maybe even into the end of March, because we still have several weeks of winter to go. The groundhog saw a shadow today, so that's another forecaster tool telling you that you need to wait. Don't get too spoiled, though, on the nice weather, because we got some rain moving in for the next several days and through the weekend, so it's going to look pretty wet for the weekend.
How's that going to impact the forecast? What are we looking at?
We have some rain moving in tomorrow. Temperatures are going to be in the lower 50s. A little bit cooler on Saturday, maybe even a couple thunderstorms throughout the area. But then we should start warming back up next week.
I think this trend is going to stay with us for a while. I really do.
I think so, for a little bit. We still, like I said, we still have plenty of time to get a good snow in, so don't get too spoiled.
Okay, well, we'll try not to. Don't break out the swimming trunks yet.
Don't break them out. No, I before the winter actually started, I put some of my outdoor stuff indoors, like the chairs and that type of thing, in the garage. And the other day, it was so nice outside, I wanted to sit outside. I was like, no, I'm afraid that if I get them out, the weather's going to change. So I kept them indoors.
All right. So. That does it for our forecast tonight, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow night at 6 o'clock with more here on 18 Eyewitness News. Have a blessed evening. Keep Jesus Christ in your hearts. God bless you, and good night, everyone.
Good night. Newswatch is next.